Psalm 80, a prayer to the shepherd of Israel for restoration. This morning's Breakfast Bible Bites opens with Psalm 80. It is part of a string of psalms where there appears to be a continuance of thought leading to a prophetic development. It is titled to the chief musician upon Shoshanan Uduth. Shoshanan means lilies. We have seen before similar metaphors where the words "a beautiful lilies" psalm refers to at some point a picture of the Messiah, our Lord Jesus Christ. Here it is a plea to the shepherd of Israel to lead them again. The word rendered Eduth means testimony. The purpose of that word being used here may reference the contents of the psalm, rendering it as a public testimony about the covenant of God with his people. Verse 1 of 80 reads, O give ear, shepherd of Israel, you who lead Joseph like a flock. You who are enthroned above the cherubim, shine forth. The name Joseph seems to be used here allegorically to represent the collective tribes of Israel. Joseph was a man prominent in the collective marching formation and the history prior to the Exodus. As the father of Ephraim and Manasseh in Egypt, Ephraim being the dominant tribe prior to God's selection of Judah, Egypt is mentioned as a country in which the vine, verse 8, had been transplanted. The connotation addressed the period when God shepherded the tribes of the Hebrew people through the wilderness. Just as a shepherd leads his flock to greener pastures, the analogy holds true as a sheep, unlike cows and horses. The sheep must be led rather than driven. Israel, of course, was led by the visible presence of God, the fire by night and the cloud by day, both of which hovered above the tabernacle and the Ark of the Covenant, covered by the mercy seat that lay between the two cherubim. The reference here is that God's presence, which was marked by a visible symbol, the Shekinah, on the mercy seat between the cherubim. Shekinah is a Chaldean word signifying a resting place, and while the word was not found in the Holy Scriptures, it was applied by the later Jews as a word to designate the visible symbol of God's presence in the tabernacle, and afterwards in Solomon's temple. Where the Lord led Israel out of Egypt, he went before them in a pillar of cloud or fire by night. The Shekinah was the symbol of God's presence with his people. We read about this in Exodus 40:34 through 38. The cloud covered the tent of meeting, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. Moses was unable to enter the tent of meeting because the cloud rested on it, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. The Israelites set out. Whenever the cloud was taken up from the tabernacle throughout all the stages of their journey. If the cloud was not taken up, they did not set out until the day it was taken up. For the cloud of the Lord was over the tabernacle by day, and there was a fire inside the cloud by night, visible to the entire house of Israel throughout all stages of their journey. However, there came a time when the glory of the Lord departed the earthly tabernacle. We read about this in 1 Samuel 4:21 through 22. Phinehas' wife named her boy, Ichabod, saying, The glory had departed from Israel, referring to the capturing of the ark of God. She said, Because the ark of God has been captured, so where did the glory cloud of the presence of the Lord go? We are given a hint in Revelation 15:8. Then the sanctuary in heaven was filled with smoke from God's glory and from his power, and no one could enter the sanctuary until the 7 plagues of the 7 angels were completed.